Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Mediocre Men podcast. Ben! Ben, where are you?
Your eyes are so big. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Episode 3. Didn't think we'd make it there. There was a little bit of a morale low, I would say, this week. We probably weren't as driven as we wanted to be for the podcast, but that's okay. Got a lot of good topics today. Some mediocre takes in sports. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Olympics coming up. Obviously, women's basketball is the headline story, but we're going to take it to the links, talk about some golfers on the course, Owen's rant of the week, and of course, Anthony's degenerate bets, all here on episode 3 of the Mediocre Men podcast. Gentlemen, welcome. Flock into the room. There it is.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you for the grand welcome there, Mr. Anderson. I appreciate that. That was a great way to start the show off.
Why were your eyes so big?
What I'm here for.
That's what he's here for, man. Oh, Ben, what are the topics we got going for the headlines of the week?
We're going to jump right into one that happened today, I believe. It was Trevor Lawrence. Also, this is being filmed on Thursday, just to give some context. Trevor Lawrence became the tied for the highest paid player annually in the NFL, making $55 million yearly. I'm going to burp 1 second, and I'll get to the numbers. There it is. He will be earning in 5 years $275 million. $200 million are guaranteed, and $142 million upon signing. Let me ask you, the three football guys in the room, does he deserve it? Plain and simple.
Anthony, you go first.
I guess he doesn't deserve it at all, but with the quarterback, plain and simply doesn't deserve it at all. But I guess you got to pay your quarterbacks. The quarterback market is out of control, and you can't let your franchise quarterback go to waste like that.
I love the franchise quarterback. Yeah, I mean, what Anthony said, I looked at a guy like Tua Tagovailoa. I thought he was going to get his money before Trevor Lawrence did. Basically, what happens, though, like every year now we see, or every couple of years, the quarterback market is reset and then reset again and then reset again, and then it keeps getting reset. Whatever the last contract was that a quarterback got, the next guy or guys who are going to get paid, that's the money they're going to warrant and they're going to expect their team to give them, if not more so. So, I mean, and you look at the numbers between Tua and between Trevor Lawrence. Tua has a better overall record. He has more touchdown passes, less interceptions thrown, more passing yards per game, more passing yards per attempt. Tua, by the numbers, and granted, listen, has he had a guy like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on his team? Yes, but still got to throw the football. Tua Tagovailoa statistically has been a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence, has had more success since getting into the league. They were drafted in the same year.
That's not true. Trevor Lawrence has playoff wins. Tua has yet to have a playoff win.
Okay, here
we go. Well, I heard he's got a lot of experience in winning the playoffs.
With a washed Calvin Ridley, mind you.
Very true. He didn't win with Calvin Ridley. He won the year before Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, he won without Calvin Ridley the year before, but after being down 27-0 to the Chargers.
And they came back, yeah.
They
shows
did.
How much I
shows
how much I know about the Jaguars.
Mediocre men here, but so I guess in that sense, okay, then maybe T-Law has had more success. But you look at the numbers and the stats. Tua's put up better stats throughout his time in the NFL compared to Trevor. Regardless, now I don't even really foresee this as a bad thing for Tua, because now that T-Law got 5 years, 275, what does this mean for Tua? He's getting at least that. Probably going to get more from Miami. So the quarterback market's always resetting. It's always improving. It's always growing and growing and growing. Guys are getting more money. It's just the way of the world right now, or at least the way of the world for quarterbacks in the NFL. But yeah, whether he's deserving of it or not, this is the money that guys like him are going to get. If you're, like Anthony said, a franchise quarterback, going to get the money.
Yeah, he's their guy. I mean, you have to pay your guy. Do I think he deserves the amount of money? I mean, I guess not that much money, but I mean, isn't he making the same amount as Joe Burrow right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same amount as Joe Burrow. Yep. I
mean, I'm a Joe Burrow guy. I'm not trying to bring that into this, but I understand Joe Burrow hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and he's getting a lot of money, but he's
been there at least.
Yeah, he's been there.
And he's beating Mahomes. He's beating good teams.
He's Mahomes' kryptonite.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you're making the same as Burrow and more than Mahomes, which is like the pinnacle of like a quarterback in the league, I don't know. I think he doesn't deserve. It's not that he doesn't deserve it, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, you have to pay a quarterback. It's your team leader.
Exactly. It's the way the market is.
What type of for you guys? What type of can of worms, I guess, does this open up for the running back discussion, where like you're getting Trevor Lawrence, who's not I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's a
But you'd
franchise
say he's
guy.
like
But he's
top
not like,
15 maybe.
yeah, he's not like Joe Burrow. But you're seeing a guy like that get that type of money. If you're a running back and you're sitting on a good team and you know you're the best guy and you're not getting paid, I guess how would you guys react to that?
It comes down to one or first, the way I would react, I'd be like, "That's fucking bullshit." How is this? How are we seeing guys get this much money, and then I'm out here, putting my body on the line more so than quarterbacks do. You're taking more damage and more hits per play per game than a quarterback would. You would probably you'd expect to be getting paid the same amount, if not more. However, in that same breath, the exact reasons that I gave for why a running back would want to get paid more is exactly the reason why they don't get paid more. They are a lot more fragile. They take a lot more hits. They're in the skirmishes with the defensive and offensive line every time they get the ball practically. Even if they go on the outside, they're still getting hit. And teams are running backs right now in the NFL. You do not need a top tier running back to win a Super Bowl. Let's go back to all the ones the Patriots won. Who did they have? James White, LeGarrette Blount, not guys in the regular season that you were like, oh my God, leading rushers, top 10 running backs, but they still won Super Bowls with those kind of guys. The Giants, Ahmad Bradshaw, didn't like knock your socks off. Wasn't anything crazy. Buccaneers, some would say at that time, a washed up Leonard Fournette. Like teams that have won the Super Bowl recently don't necessarily have these dominant running backs. Teams just are not going to pay them, and it sucks for running backs. It's got to be frustrating for them. I can only imagine, but it's like I said before. It's the way the markets for each of these positions align, and the reality is that they're not going to get paid.
I agree with the NFL that running backs shouldn't get paid as highly because they last about 6-7 years and they only have about three good years.
I was gonna say it's only like 2 or 3 years shelf
Yeah,
life.
they only have like 3 really good seasons. You're not going to pay a running back 5 years of all that money for what? 2-3 good years, and then they're just washed after that.
Like Todd Gurley, for example.
Yep. Austin Eckler right now. Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
I think Ezekiel Elliott is like the most prime example recently.
Yeah.
Like he's
100%.
I'd say Saquon's up there too.
No.
Yeah. He just gets hurt. I mean, I guess because he gets hurt too much.
50-50.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Saquon in that same boat. I think that
not yet.
Not yet. Because we saw when he was healthy last year, Saquon was the best running back in the behind McCaffrey.
Top three.
Yeah, top 3. And the only guy realistically that's getting this kind of money right now or getting longer term, is Christian McCaffrey.
Which he deserves it.
He deserves it, but he's also an anomaly because he provides you so much that no other running back really does. His ability to run between the tackles, his speed that he provides out of the backfield, and his pass catching ability. It's because of the dual threat capability McCaffrey has. That's why he's getting paid so much. But Ben, you're right. The can of worms that it opens up, it's frustrating for running backs, but again, it's the sad reality of the market for one side and the very, very happy reality for the other, which is, quarterbacks up here and running backs down there when it comes to at least monetarily wise.
We'll move on to the next one. I just wouldn't be surprised if a running back in the next 2 or 3 weeks goes on strike and says they're not going to re-sign.
They've done it for a couple of years now.
It happens every year. But I think after this, I wouldn't be shocked if someone comes out in a few days. We'll move on to a little more shock news. I think this would be pretty shocking for the casual fan. But the women's basketball team announced for the United States their their final roster for the Olympics, and one name was excluded, and that is Caitlin Clark. There's some reports coming out saying that the fans would have been mad if she didn't get the playing time she deserved, and that's probably the reason. So it seems like there's a lot of distractions coming with it outside of just she probably wasn't. I wouldn't say she's ready for it, but I think there's some debate as if she would really make an impact on this team, and I think coaches are going to make their own decisions. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but nonetheless, Caitlin Clark was omitted. Gentlemen, do you think she deserved to be on the team? Do you think it was the right choice? How are we feeling about this one?
Tino, I know you're very adamant about it.
I'll let Owen go first, and then I'll give my 2 cents.
I mean, we talked about her last week. Do I think she necessarily earned her spot? Not yet, but to deny her, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird situation, to be honest. I mean, I think she could have gone. It wouldn't be weird if she got picked, but to say she earned it yet, I don't really know. I can't say that she did. but I don't know.
The only
It's-
reason why oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you, Owen. The only reason why I think that she didn't make it was because the U.S. women's team hasn't had a rookie on their team in the past 6 years. So I just think that they just wanted to keep going on that path. And like Owen said, I don't think she really deserved it right now. But
Listen, when you look at, I'm going to read off the roster right now. So you have Nafisa Collier, Kalia Cooper, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Sabrina Ionescu, Joelle Lloyd, Kelsey Plume, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Alyssa Thomas, Aja Wilson, Jackie Young, and then that's the roster. So every woman on that team 100% deserves to be on the roster. They have the cachet and the talent to be there, and those are the players I believe that should be representing the United States in the Olympics this year. Here's the thing. Now, Caitlin Clark she is not better than any of these players by no means. That's 100% a fact. My thing here is that when you think about expanding the game globally and allowing other people that don't watch the WNBA outside of the United States to really be brought into the fold of the game, and to grow the game, that's what Caitlin Clark should be in the Olympics for. That would be the only reason behind them doing that, is to shine a greater light on the sport of the WNBA and to gain a larger following and to get people excited about that sport, because that's what Caitlin Clark is doing for the WNBA right now. Now, outside of that, her basketball talent alone, like not even her talent, but like she hasn't done enough yet. She's only played about 20 games, not even. So she hasn't done enough.
It's 12, I think.
Yeah, 12.
I think it's 12. Yeah.
12. Yeah. So I was even way higher than I should have been. Caitlin Clark has not earned a spot yet on the Olympic team. Now, if we're talking about the 3v3 Olympics,
yeah, what the hell is what is that? I looked it up. It's like they started last Olympics, but like
it's and a collegiate athlete made it. Haley Van Lith, who returned to college. The fact that Caitlin Clark didn't make that is kind of crazy. Maybe she was offered it and said no. I'm not 100% sure, but that would have seemed like a much better fit for her as opposed, because she still could have gone in that and been able to help it again grow and expand the game. But I don't think, if I'm Caitlin Clark, I'm not taking this as a slight. I know she came out and said, like, oh, she said to her coach, they woke the monster after she didn't make the Olympic team. And, it's obviously motivation for her, at least from what she said. But again, for me, I was very hot about this topic last week and very heated about the fact that players are attacking her, going after her. But in this case, the reasoning, Ben, that you said behind it of, oh, they made this decision based on what they think.
And these are just rumors too, supposedly. Yeah, they're supposed rumors. Yeah.
Yes, but this is what we're going based off of, because other major networks have said the same thing, that they made this decision based on how they thought that the fans were going to respond. If this is true, you don't do that. You don't make a decision as to whether to put somebody on an Olympic national team just because you're afraid or concerned about how you think the fans are going to respond. You have no idea how the fans are going to respond. And realistically, no matter what they did, if they put her on the team, didn't play her a lot, if they didn't put her on the team, the fans are going to react anyway. So that, to me, if that was really the truth behind their decision, that's total BS. But I don't have a problem with her not making it. I just think that the WNBA missed out on a golden opportunity to expand the game and grow the game globally and bring more excitement and cachet to the game. Because again, that's what Caitlin Clark's almost her role has been since getting into the WNBA and since ending her collegiate career, is bringing all this attention to women's basketball. So that's my take on it.
I will say she definitely did not even want to go. It seemed very clear that when she did that post-game interview, she said she was tired. She needed a break, which is understandable considering you have to declare for the draft 48 hours after you finish, after that national championship. She had 48 hours to declare, and then it's 3 weeks, and then she's drafted, and then she's in season. Totally fair. I still think you should go represent your nation. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't chuck her on the 3v3 team. She definitely said no to that. I would assume.
There's no way they didn't offer it to her and offered it to a current college player over her. There's no shot that happened. So she had to have turned it down.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to think otherwise.
Yeah. Well, we can continue this discussion. We'll move on to another sport. We'll go to soccer, which is what I put in the rundown because I'm very excited about this. The United States national team tied Brazil yesterday. You read that right. Christian Pulisic tied the game up in the 26th minute after Rodrigo scored. And it's one of the final games, if not the final game, before the United States head into the Copa America, a tournament that they're not really going to do well in, but it could be interesting. They got invited this year. So I just would like to ask you guys, as I guess not as intense soccer fans, but when you see a name like Brazil and you see that the United States draw them, I guess like what are your what's like the initial thoughts when you think about the U.S. somehow tying Brazil? Mind you that Brazil had a full team and you had Joe Scally from Long Island defending Vinicius. Or I think from Jersey. I think he's from Jersey actually. But yeah, you had someone from New Jersey defending Vinicius.
I mean, I feel like it's very encouraging, I guess, because soccer was never that big in America, and just to see now that it's starting to get a lot more hype and they're getting a lot better, so to show that they can handle a powerhouse team like Brazil, I think it's very encouraging.
Owen?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know much about soccer, but I mean, like Anthony said, in the United States, soccer was never really that big. So from a very amateur perspective of this, it's promising that was the outcome. I mean,
I remember watching, Ben, with you, and shout out Connor Core, former Q30 president. I remember watching I believe it was the USA. I think we were watching the Netherlands game together up on Rocky Top. Maybe you guys might not have been there, but I was watching the USA Netherlands in the World Cup. Yeah, last year.
You came over to my room You guys
sorry.
My dorm room.
Yes,
yeah, it was in my dorm room. Yeah.
So we watched the USA Netherlands game, and listen, Netherlands, phenomenal team. They pushed Argentina to the limit after they beat the United States, but the United States pushed them hard in that game, and they looked good. They tied England in the group stages. And
yeah, but they got smoked that game. It was a tie, but they got demolished.
I know they got demolished, but hey, listen, a draw is a draw, right? So I'm saying the United States showed their prowess, I think, in the World Cup. And then when you think about Brazil, again, Ben is the soccer resident here, but I'm somebody that when I hear the name, I hear Brazil associated with soccer. I think of arguably the greatest country in the history of that sport. Like when you talk about guys that have played for them, and I remember watching in the 2014 World Cup, they lost to Germany, but I remember watching Neymar back then when he was, you would say, around closer to his prime as opposed to now. But Brazil is a powerhouse, and they've been so for a long time. For U.S. to be able to draw against them even in a friendlies match, that's, to me, I take that as that's a victory. That's almost like a constellation win, even though those, depending on who you ask, don't really count. But Anthony and Owen said it. Promising is the least of what it is, because to draw with a team like Brazil, I think that's phenomenal for the United States. 100%.
Ben, do you think Gino Reyna is going to play in the Copa Americana?
Yeah. He's it seems like he's Greg's guy, and he's been for a while. Where I would say him and Turner specifically, it doesn't matter if they're not playing in their club team, they will automatically get called up and they will automatically start. And they both were on Nottingham this spring, and they both were terrible. Gio had flashes, but he just wasn't getting minutes. So I think the two of them will start. They'll definitely, I would say the two of them would start against Bolivia and Panama, which are the first two games. I could see the U.S. pulling 6 points in there, and then a guy like Ethan Horvath comes in against Uruguay if they're through and lets them ride it out, and then just rest a bunch of guys. Bolivia, Panama, Uruguay, they're expected to get out of the group, and then whatever happens after that. But them, Mexico, and Canada are all in the Copa America for the first time since I think of it somewhere. I think it's like 2010. It's like 2014, maybe around then, I want to say.
How far do you think USA is going this year?
They'll get. It just depends on where everyone falls. I could see them getting to a quarter or a semifinal, and then that's where they'll run into Brazil, Argentina. Even I would say Canada's a good prospect. They got Jesse March, the coach, so it's looking good. But we'll continue with the U.S. once again. We're sticking with national teams here, but we're going to the U.S. Open. If you can read Owen's hat, he's a little far back, but I think he went to Pinehurst this weekend, and I'm gonna let him take the reins. As the first day of the U.S. Open is currently wrapped up right now.
Boy, did I go there! Is an understatement. Might I add? I want to keep this brief. I don't want to go on.
You can go on as long as
We
you
have other
want.
stuff to talk about. Okay, then I will. So yeah, I went down there. I went down there on Friday night, and then I watched. I went Monday for the first practice round. At 7:30, I think was their tee time. Was Tiger, JT, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, and Ricky. And might I add, that is a phenomenal group to start out with for a practice round. I mean, they only played 9 holes, which was kind of not annoying, but I kind of wish they played more. But I mean, it's first day of the practice round. They're really only out there just to get a feel of what the course is like. And but yeah, I saw them. They were at 7:30. They probably wrapped up around, I want to say like 9:30. And then I was just watching the USGA app the whole time because new people were just getting in. So I think at like 10:30, I think Colin Morikawa got in. He hit the range, so I watched him for a bit. Scotty Scheffler didn't get in until like 4:35, I think was what happened. I mean, he just won at Memorial, so rightfully so. He can get in at that late, getting off a victory. But I mean, yeah, it was cool. No, that course is insane. I went down there last year during the winter, and when you're there in the winter, the grass is like dormant, and you understand like how nice of a course it is. But then you go back there in the summer when it's like 90 degrees out, the grass is green, everything like it's picturesque, and then on top of that, you have all the grandstands around it. You walk by the 18th green, and it's like a coliseum. It's almost like a half coliseum. It's like a 3-story just viewing area for fans. It's honestly the U.S. Open's my favorite major in golf. It's perfect. I don't know why I like it so much. I think it just has to do with the competitiveness of the actual tournament itself and how tough the courses they choose actually are. But yeah, before I get into like the course conditions, do you guys want to add anything?
What was your prediction, Owen, to win?
Oh, I think I'm not going to pick Scotty Scheffler because that's a cop out answer. He's obviously he's really good. That course also, might I add, is very long. It's 7,500 yards.
Wow.
It's a very long course.
Is Scotty good with a driver? I feel like he doesn't.
Yeah, he is.
He is. Then who's your prediction?
Sorry. I'll wrap up in a second. But no, the course is long. The course is long, and then the greens are tough. So you have to be accurate with your driver, and you have to be really good with your short game. So a cop out answer would be Scotty Scheffler. My actual answer that I'm going to go with, I could be wrong. I'm going to go with Bryson. He's hot coming off the PGA. I think it's just a solid pick. He's ramping up in majors, which is where he needs to be ramping up since he's on live. So he's doing all the right things that he needs to be doing in majors. So yeah, I'm going with Bryson.
Ben?
I'll give 2. I also would like to know, I don't know if you guys know where Bryson would potentially be in FedEx Cup points if you actually play it. Like, I think he'd probably be up there. You have to assume.
He would. Yeah, he would be.
Yeah. Well, I'll give an actual pick, and then one I could see like a dream pick. My actual pick is Tony Finau. The guy's due for a major. It's been too. He's never won one, but like, I feel like he's just so in and out. But when he gets locked in, because he's a long hitter, people forget about that. He was one of the longest for a long time. Pretty good with the putter, and he's got his whole family like traveling around with him. Vibes are high in the Finau family. If you've watched their TikToks, they're pretty fun. So I'd go Tony Finau. He's not in bad form. He did pretty well in the last major. I'm almost positive. No,
He
yeah,
always hangs up there.
Yeah, he's
He's
always in
always-
the running.
he's getting back to that point. Like I think there was a 2 or 3 year period where he was dormant and he was not making cuts. But ever since that win 2 years ago, it was in Hawaii, I think, where he won that tournament. They had it in full swing. Oh my god, more burps. Ever since that though, he's been good. And then my sleeper pick, Jason Day.
Oh my
If-
god.
If Jason Day, because you have again, I would say he's pretty close to Tony Finau, where he was a really long hitter, really good with irons, and he probably had some of the best putting on tour in his day when he won a major a few years.
Bro, he's tied for 34th on the leaderboard.
yeah,
right
but you
now.
got to look at the scores.
A long 4 days.
Yeah,
Well, what is he at? What, -2?
+1.
yeah,
No,
he's at
I'm
plus
still.
Though I mean, the leaders are up -5, but
Yeah.
it is the first day. If he can,
That's fair.
this is bad. If he can walk the course because it's a pretty tough walk, right, Owen?
I wouldn't say it's
Like if you're Tiger Woods and you're Jason Day, are you making it?
I
through?
would say it's like I said, it's long. I wouldn't say it's nothing really like when I'm not walking directly on the course. I'm walking on like the in like the tree line on like the paths. I mean it's there's some dips on the course, but it's nothing really like it's just long.
It's not really
Yeah.
hilly, right?
No, it's in like a sand mine. That's what it is. It's just built on sand mine.
But if he can not let, because I think him and Tiger, I don't even know if there's any. I would
Well,
say
Tiger's
Zalatoris.
+4 right now, so
Yeah, well, I would say Zalatoris. You could throw, you could throw him in after his injuries. But those three guys really take a beating outside of things you wouldn't expect, like walking. Tiger and Jason have been notorious the last few years. I feel like for pulling out of events because they just can't walk the whole thing. But if you can have Jason Day play it at the level that he can play at, and he doesn't let any of the outside factors affect him, he wins. He wins. I think he's still one of the best golfers in the world if he can stay healthy, which is something you don't really think about as golfers. But yeah, I would go Jason Day as my sleeper to come from behind.
yeah, I'm agreeing with Owen here. I think Bryson's gonna win. The way he's been playing at the last 2 majors, knocking on the door in all of them, I just think he's ready to win one.
Sleeper pick?
Sleeper pick. I'm gonna go with my boy. What I forget how to pronounce the last name. Is Akshay? What is it? Bahita? Is that
Akshay Bhatia. Akshay
Is it
Bhatia, I
Bhatia?
think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. That's my sleeper pick. He's -2 right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, again, as somebody who doesn't watch golf, not we're mediocre in some things. I mean, I always say it. I'm probably gonna go with, I'll go with a basic pick. I'll go with Rory McIlroy right now, tied for
stop
first at
it.
-5.
That's a terrible pick.
Stop it.
No, I
That
don't.
is
I
a
don't-
terrible. He did just they stopped the divorce.
It's not terrible though. It's not terrible.
Him
I
and
would
just
say
hate
it's
him.
worse.
I hate him. I just hate the guy.
he's back with his
Yeah,
wife.
then-
now.
then-
They canceled the papers.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I would
they-
say that's not a
filed-
terrible pick though.
He's tied for first right now. I'm not saying he's gonna win. I understand like lock and change, but how's that a terrible pick?
I just don't think I don't think he's got it in him to win a major right now. Everyone says he's hot. I don't think he's that hot.
Okay, well, I think he's smoking hot, so we're gonna see what happens.
All right.
I got Rory McIlroy winning that right there. Winning the U.S. Open this weekend. Ben, I want to take us over to some NBA Finals discussions here. As somebody who has now brutally, I'm not
Say it,
going to speak
Tino.
too soon. I'm not going to
Say it,
speak too
Tino.
soon
No,
because
say
we-
it,
No,
say
say
it,
it, Tino. You
Hey,
were wrong.
You were wrong.
You were wrong. How's
Never
Kyrie
over-
doing? How's Kyrie
never.
doing?
Can I talk? You
Well, he
want me
played
to talk?
phenomenal last night. You
Yeah, he did.
can't knock him for that.
Listen, never over till the fat lady sings. And
Oh no, it's over.
Well,
but-
Daniel Gafford was singing this morning about how some guys aren't even practicing, so we can.
How's
Oh,
Kyrie's
geez.
experience doing right now?
Yeah, I think I didn't, not that I didn't realize it, but I did. I went against history, and history usually shows us it's the best indicator. History, it's the best teller of what's going to happen, and I went against history. And,
Shouldn't the best
and
roster dictate that?
No, I'm
No,
talking
not
about like,
necessarily.
Kyrie's got one
Can
ring,
I
right?
can, no, no,
They-
can I specify what I meant before? Because I don't think Anthony understands where I'm going with this. I said that Kyrie was 0-10 before this series against Boston, correct? And he
Yep.
struggles playing in Boston. I said that wasn't going to happen this time. History is the best indicator and the usual best teller of what's to come. And I decided to go against history. I thought I knew better than history, and I didn't. I was wrong. Kyrie in Boston was getting all of the shots that he was getting in Dallas, getting open shots, getting his floaters, getting his lefty layup, like getting everything. Just wasn't knocking him down.
I would
And
would completely disagree with that. I would completely disagree.
Go back and watch the tape. You're out of your fucking mind.
He was
Ben.
not.
Go back
first
and
two
watch
games-
the tape. The shots he was getting were the same shots he was getting in Dallas, and he was just missing them.
No,
That's-
he's somewhat getting the same shots, but I don't think it's the same because he wasn't aggressive. He was a little
He was
passive. He was just so passive. He just late. He
Bro,
just
he was
laid
taking
down
like
on the court
19,
and done
18
nothing.
shots. Dude, I'm not even.
He just stood. He didn't do much for the
What
first
are you
game.
talking about?
Game one, he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing.
He
How many?
tried
points?
to.
He had 14.
But
Oh,
what
he
did
had
he
12,
shoot?
or no, he had 12, I believe.
I think they took him out of. It felt like they took him completely out of the game. He shot 6 for 19.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. He took 19 shots. He was getting the shots that he gets. He wasn't making them, Ben. I don't know if you watch. Did you watch the first two games or not?
Here we go. How many shots do you think he took? Because you're saying the same exact amount, right?
No, that's not what. That is not what I said. Do not. That is not what I said. No. I did not say the same amount of shots. I said the same type and quality of shots. Do not mince my words. Hear me clearly. What I said. No.
No. Because now I want to do the math here. Because he shot 7 for 18 in game 2. He shot
6 for 19 in game 1.
13 for 28 in game 3.
Yeah.
If you do the math and you take the number that he made divided by the number of amount, and you take that percentage of what he shot and you spread it out over the 28 shots that he shot in game 3, it is the same proportion. He just took more shots.
But he was getting but
No. He just took more shots. He shot almost the exact same percent. Let me take out the math here.
But I wasn't talking about his field goal percentage. I'm talking about the quality of shots that he was getting. He was getting the same ones.
He shot 46.242% last night. The night before, he shot 38.
46.
He's a little more
46.4. Excuse me, you got your math wrong. And then it was what 6 divided by 19. That's 30 with 31 point. The game I'm talking about game 1.
No, I'm talking about game 2 and game 3.
Yeah, but we're talking about all the games, Ben. He was in Boston for the first 2 games. So he shot 31% in game 1.
Took more shots.
That's okay. Anthony, you go.
All right.
6 for 10 on his extra 10 shots.
I didn't even get to make any points about the fucking series because you got me sidetracked with the Kyrie Irving bullshit.
See how easy it is? Let it be known he's got 1 ring, right?
Yes.
He's going to have the same amount of rings as O'Shea Brissett. I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. This series is exactly how I thought it was going to play out. The better rosters, just killing them. I don't care about what the score was. They were up by 21 yesterday going in the fourth quarter. They let off the gas pedal. But the main thing I'm taking away from this is I am starting to hate Luka Doncic way more than Kyrie Irving. Luka Doncic, he complained. I hate the way Jason Tatum complains to the refs, falls down for no reason. Luka Doncic does it 10 times more than him. He fouls almost every time he goes up for a shot. You're not allowed to put your elbow and shoulder into someone's chest to go for the shot. You're just not allowed to do that. That's all he does all game long. And fourth quarter comes, he's a sack of potatoes. He just sits there, can't move because he's so slow and tired. But also, just want to say, Jaylen Brown is now ahead of Jason Tatum from this series.
Dude, the way he because here's the thing. Tatum, first half, the way he showed up was making shots, stepped up huge, had 18 points in the first half. Second half,
all Brown.
It was all Jaylen Brown. 24 of his 30 in the second half. And after Tatum had missed that 3-pointer, that step back he took, I forget who it was over, but he took a step back 3-pointer, and then Jaylen Brown came back down the other end, pull up midi, to go up by 4, 102-98.
Mhm.
Jaylen Brown showed up when it mattered. And Jaylen Brown he's locked up Finals MVP at this point.
I agree.
It's not a discussion.
I agree.
For me, Drew Holiday was my favorite before Game 3.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Game 3 now, because Drew Holiday didn't really score that much. But
what are you going that for?
I picked it. I picked Drew Holiday.
And I picked Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's clearly going to win.
I still think there's a shot.
There's not after Game 3. No.
He had 9 points.
He had 9 points. I'm sorry. Drew was good defensively as he always is, but Jaylen Brown, he won them the game. He won them that game last night. The Celtics they became their old Celtics again, collapsed in the fourth quarter, let up that big lead, and Jaylen Brown was the one that almost every time they needed a crucial basket, JB was the one. JB was the one to get it. So he's locked up. He's locked it up.
Can we all agree that if Kristaps was playing, then he would have won Finals MVP?
Oh, I agree.
Here's the thing. Game 2, I don't know if he.
Defensively, he was. I think that carried him through.
Like 3 blocks a night.
Yeah, something like no. He was his and not even the blocks, but his overall the way he impacts them driving to the basket. Like they couldn't finish when he was in, and that's part of why the first quarter it was all paint points for Dallas. Everything was in the paint because Porzingis wasn't there anymore. It was Al Horford and Xavier Tillman, for God's sake.
Shout out to him, 3-pointer baby.
Yeah, that was a 6-3.
But you can abuse an old man Al Horford in the paint and as well an Xavier Tillman who don't have the length and the shot blocking and rim protecting ability that Porzingis has. So you really, Anthony, you texted in our group chat saying you were shocked that like how much Porzingis means. And defensively, it really is where he thrives. Offensively, obviously, he gets it within the flow of the game, but defensively, he shines. I still don't think he would have won Finals MVP because in Game 2 he didn't score. He only scored like 10, 12 points. So I think it probably would have gone to one of the supers, like Jaylen Brown. But Porzingis would have been in the running 100%. I think it would have been like him, Drew Holiday, or Brown, Holiday, Porzingis, like right there.
Do you guys think it's a sweep, or you think Dallas wins one?
I think Dallas wins in Game 4 and then loses in Game 5.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I don't want to correct you. Kristaps scored 23 in Game 2.
He did not.
He scored 20. He went 23 and 12.
Wow, I didn't.
That's why I'm saying he was without a doubt.
I agree.
Wrong number. 12. He scored 12.
Right.
Yeah, he did score 12. I was gonna say. I'm like, wait a minute. There's no shot he scored 23. I was gonna say, yeah, okay. So again, that fact kind of dips him down out of there. But I want to talk about what Anthony said. Luka Doncic is the reason they lost that game last night.
100%.
He is 100% the reason. And Brian Windhorst, a phenomenal NBA insider, analyst, reporter. He has you could call him a bunch of different titles. But Brian Windhorst came out and said, I'm gonna find the exact quote in a second, but it was along the lines of talking about how Luka Doncic he looked inexperienced. And granted, in the finals, he is. It's his first time in the finals. He did not step up in the way that he needed to, especially defensively, because you go back to that first quarter, back-to-back possessions. It was 31-25, about like a minute and a half in the first quarter. He shoots one over Al Horford, I believe it was, and then tries to foul bait, falls down, even though it wasn't a foul, sits there, complains to the ref. He's like doing this, like, what? And then down the other end, Hauser, top of the key 3. Next possession, Jason Tatum was guarding him. Luka pulls up, top of the key, foul baits again, sits on the ground, looks at the ref, and the same thing happens. Fast break, Tatum dunks it with a second left, and instantly it's a 1-point game going into the second quarter. Now, I'm not saying that would have changed the outcome of the game. It's the first quarter. But when your star player, when the lead, this is Luka's team. When he does shit like that in the finals and doesn't get back on defense and sits on the floor like a big blub and then complains to the refs, what message does that send to you, the rest of your team, who all of them, besides Kyrie Irving, are new to the finals just like you are? You can't do shit like that. That's just, it can't happen. And Brian Windhorst said, if Luka's ever going to be a winner, he's going to have to use this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. He's costing his team because of how he treats the officials. And last night, 100% what happened. And the stat to prove it defensively, the stat that came out today was that Luka, in terms of the way he's been getting driven on throughout the playoffs, not even in just this series, but when you look at the percentages, highest blow-by percentage allowed on drives in a series by any NBA player in the last 10 years. Versus the Thunder, 59%. Versus the Clippers, 65.2%. And versus the Celtics, 67.7% is the high. That's the highest blow by percentage allowed. He's just not showing up defensively the way he's supposed to. He's just not.
I will say, your point of the refs, I think ESPN saves him a ton of the time because they don't have time to switch as a broadcast crew to switch to him complaining every single time back. But if you look in the corner of your eye, you can see him running back like this with his arms up, yelling.
Does it every time?
They save him
every single time.
Every time they cut to a different. If you watch, they'll cut to a different camera. If he's like this, if he's freaking out,
he does it every time. And then he walks back down the court and he's like smiling as if like
he's still doing it.
And the other thing too, there was a post-up play with Peyton Pritchard. This was the thing I was most pissed about. When you have a 6'2", 6'2", right?
Well, he's like 7 foot at heart, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. He has that dog in him. He's like, yeah, but he's 6'1". When 6'7" Luka Doncic is posting up Peyton Pritchard, and he goes for the post fadeaway, pump fakes, and then goes to lean in. Why are you foul baiting against a guy that is 6 inches shorter than you? Shoot over the motherfucker. Like that to me is just you're so talented the way you can shoot shots over Porzingis, but when you got a foul bait with Pritchard, come on, dude. It's like it's got to stop, man. It costs his team, and Kyrie showed up last night. Nothing bad can be said about Kyrie Irving. It really cannot, because Luka fouled out with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Speaking of that, do you think that was a foul?
What, the last play?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people were trying to tell me it wasn't a foul, and I was like,
"What?"
"What?"
Into it.
Yeah.
No, he slid into it. Now, here's the thing: if Jaylen Brown took this off arm and extended, then it would have been an offensive. I would have said it was an offensive foul, because in that scenario, it doesn't matter if the defender is moving or not. If you push off with your off arm, which ironically Luka did a couple times, but Jaylen Brown, if he did that, then I would have been like, oh, wait a minute. No, I was almost concerned the refs were going to let Luka stay in. And if that happened, I automatically was going to say, this shit is rigged. They're trying to avoid a sweep because there's no shot that should be overturned. His left or his whatever foot was
it was his right foot.
His right foot was sliding in still as that happened. So, no, that was 100% a foul. And Kyrie still kept them in that game. They still were there. They had a chance. Celtics were able to close it out, but Kyrie kept them in that. So, yeah, it's the last 2 games have been close. You know, Anthony's right. Roster's better. Celtics are a better team. The building blocks that this team has put around Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the formula they've developed with pretty much everybody on the floor at one time can shoot. Whether it's Porzingis, White, Holiday, Brown, Pritchard, whoever it is. Everybody on the floor can create their own offense in some way or another. They're just very and the other thing I noticed too, when they're passing and the way they have Dallas scrambling every time on defense, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, Dallas can't keep up. Like because the minute they bring help defense, it's over. You got a guy in the corner, you got a guy on the wing, the opposite corner. It's like they're not quick enough to be able to stay with that entire team because everyone's a threat. It's too tough.
Before we move on, because we should move off this topic, I just want to ask a really quick question. You've seen the series. You've seen what Joe Mazzulla is trying to do with the Celtics. If you are him right now, with your starting 5, would you take any of the Dallas players into your starting 5? I say no.
I think if you take the Dallas starting 5, put one of the Dallas starting 5 into that roster, it fucks them up. I think their chemistry is so set. I just don't think Luka's a better player than Derek White or Drew Holiday, but what Drew Holiday and Derek White do for the team, Luka doesn't do. You already have a Tatum and a Brown, so you know what I mean. That team is a perfect match the way they're constructed.
I genuinely think if Daniel Gafford could somewhat shoot, I would take him over Al Horford in this lineup. Because obviously Kristaps comes in, but in this lineup, the only swap I would consider would be Daniel Gafford for Al Horford. And even that, I still don't think I would do it.
Yeah, and mainly because of the age, but that's even if anything. But we can move on now. I know I talked for a lot.
Well, we got one more predictions, and it's the NHL ones. I'm going to butt out, and I'll join Owen on the couch next to him for this one. Panthers are currently up 2-0. Their game is...
Is it 2-0?
No, Isn't it 2-0?
No, it's
no,
one-
like
one
the
nothing.
1-0.
series, the series.
Oh,
Oh,
2-0 in
oh.
the series.
It's
Sorry,
1-0
sorry.
right now at the game right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
but-
playing right now against the Oilers. Just I guess just finals predictions. We all kind of I think we all predicted Panthers were gonna win, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh,
We
there
lost
goes
that
Owen.
one for a second.
Well, he
Yeah,
didn't really
but-
say much in that last one. No, he-
we're,
Oh.
we're all
Owen,
good.
how was Pinehurst?
That was my nightly exit. Sorry, my weekly, not nightly.
Your weekly exit.
Happens to happen every weekend. I can't talk.
Every
What am I
week-
doing?
Every weekend.
I'm flustered. I got booted because my Wi-Fi kicked out, and now I'm back. And now I'm
Anthony, we all had the Panthers winning, and I don't think we're surprised by what's happening. I mean, we all said their roster was more balanced, better goaltender, better players as a whole. Like you said, the Oilers bottom 6, bottom 8 is trash. Like, not surprising.
Well,
whatsoever.
it's has nothing. I mean, it has a lot to do with the roster, but another part that I think has to do with is you haven't seen a Canadian team win since 1999, and I think hockey really changed from last time a Canadian team won to now. I think the way that Canadians play is a lot more skilled. They like to stick handle around people in the American way, I guess, if you want to call hockey. It's a lot more rough, a lot more dump and chase.
Beat the
Hockey,
shit
like,
out of you.
yeah. So I think in the playoffs, you need a lot more of your American style hockey. So I think that's why a great example, Florida plays one of the best American style hockey right now. And I think it's just
I would
showing.
say the best, arguably.
Yeah. So I think it's just showing, especially during this finals. So I think I said Florida in 6. I think I honestly might say Florida in 5. I don't see Edmonton really putting up a better fight right now.
I low-key might switch. I said 5. I think they're going to sweep them. I don't think Edmonton's going to win a game. I think
Yeah.
Florida. I think Florida's winning in 4, and they're winning in 4, and they're going to win in Canada because the way the Oilers they scored 1 goal the entire series so far.
Yeah,
It's been no offense.
It's just that I don't know. It's just that American style of hockey that Florida plays. You can't stick handle around a 6'7" guy who just wants to beat the shit out of you or hit you.
And that's what McDavid and Draisaitl do. And that just can't. And the Rangers, not that they're like a super, the Rangers, they're not none of them are stick handlers the way McDavid and Draisaitl are, but they were the best offensive team stats wise in the league. And then Florida shut them down in the last 2 games. So you saw that happen in New York. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who knows hockey and didn't think the same thing was going to happen to Edmonton. And we're seeing it now. They've been outscored 7-1 in the first 2 games. Now 8-1 through two games in a period of game 3. So yeah, Florida's 100% still going to win this, but that's all that's all I got for hockey. It's not much more to discuss with that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick, a pretty mediocre break. When we come back, Anthony will have his degenerate bets of the week. And then following that, we're going to talk some Olympic golf that we've made up. Stick with us.
All right, guys, welcome back to my degenerate bets of the week. So far, first win last week. We had one of the bets with the Florida Panthers win. So right now we are down $97, but it's okay. You gotta to make money, you gotta lose a lot of money. So we got 3 bets this week. The first one is Derek White over 15.5 points and Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points, which is a $10 bet, and the odds is 255. So to win, if I win that one, that would be a $25.50 win. The second one, going to move to Euros. First one is the Group B, which is Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. So for this first one, I have Spain and Croatia drawing, and I have Italy beating Albania. That odds is plus 357. So I bet $10 on that, and if that hits, it would be $35.64 win. And the last one is going to be Group F, so which is Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and the Czech Republic. So for the first one, we have Turkey beating Georgia, and then for the second one, we got Portugal beating Czech. Another $10 bet, which is the odds are 166. So to win that, it's going to be $16.57 of a profit if that hits. So again, it's my degenerate bets of the week, and hopefully they hit.
Welcome back. The Mediocre Men podcast, myself, Anthony, Ben, and Owen. We're going to get into a little golf Olympic discussion. Now, you're probably wondering, golf and Olympics don't really go together, but We're bringing them together today. So
Well, it is
Ben,
together.
Owen. What do you mean?
You
guys-
the Olympics is golf is in the Olympics.
You guys said it wasn't.
No, it is. This thing that we're doing is not.
But like there's actual golf
Yeah, they
tournament
actually
in the
play golf.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
well,
keep it.
Keep it.
No,
Keep it
no,
going.
No, keep it. All right. So Tino, who's going first?
No, I'm restarting.
No, I liked it. It was fun. It was cute. You messed up. You smiled. You blushed a little bit. It was perfect. Tino, who's going first?
We're going based on age.
Nice.
So Ben, you're going
Age
first.
before beauty.
Well, thanks, guys. You know, this is a really hard pick. Well, also Anthony's gonna go after me. He's a little bit older.
I have a quick question before we start.
Yeah.
Is
Oh my
this
God.
all time? Excuse me, Owen.
No.
Is this all time or just current players?
Okay, it's
Okay.
current.
As the moderator, it is just current. I am
Okay.
making the
Is it
executive
okay?
decision.
Okay. Question. Is this? Can we do? Is it world or is it
That
PGA or can I pick live?
No,
Is
we
it
can pick
PGA
that.
and live or just PGA.
As
PGA,
as the moderator, you can pick any current golfer you would like.
if we're doing the Olympics and we're saying that we're the U.S., can I not pick?
No, you can pick any national. We're like
Okay,
our
I can
own
pick- I
national.
can pick any golfer. Okay.
Yep.
Any golfer. Here we go. All right,
Well,
Ben.
okay.
you're-
That helps me in this decision a little bit because I was a little confused if I could take this guy number one, since we're talking about Europeans. But for my number one overall pick, I'm gonna pick Scotty Scheffler. So it had nothing to do with what I was just talking about.
All right. Well, I think Ben takes the obvious pick there. It's Scotty Scheffler.
You guys thought I was gonna take Rory, didn't you?
He was trying to throw us off the scent, I guess, there a little bit. Little
I just
misdirection.
I just bashed the guy.
Little misdirection there. But anyway, Anthony, you're up next, bud. Who you
This
picking?
is easy pick, Bryson DeChambeau.
All right. So you can argue the two
Yeah,
best golfers in the world
I picked Owen's pick.
off the board.
Where
Owen.
is he in the world golf rankings? Is he not even on here?
I don't even know.
He's 38th in the world golf rankings.
This is so bad.
Oh, and you
Owen,
got
you're
two.
ne-
You got two
Owen,
picks.
it's a snake draft. You got the next two, buddy boy. Who you going with?
All right. So they pick Sky Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau. All right. Give me John Rahm.
Terrible
it.
pick. Terrible.
Damn
pick.
it.
How was that a terrible pick?
He sucks
That
right
was
now.
a terrible pick.
He's terrible right now.
You- Okay. Well, he's on my team now, so I can't go back.
Nope.
I want a team captain.
I know he's gonna pick.
You guys gonna flame me for this.
I know you're gonna pick.
Why would you
I'm-
pick Phil?
I know he's gonna pick
I'm
Phil.
gonna go with Phil Mickelson.
Now that's a terrible pick.
How old
Yeah.
is Phil Mickelson now?
He's like
40 something?
55. Maybe 56.
Can I? All right, here's what I'm going to suggest we do. What I'm going to mandate we do. Let's move on to Anthony. All right, Anthony, you're next.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Brooks Koepka. He's always really good in the majors, so
Nice.
Okay.
I know I bashed the guy, but I'm gonna take Rory.
yeah,
so
you
I
can
got
have Rory.
I got
No,
Scotty.
that's a bad pick.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick
That's a bad
Tiger
pick.
Woods. Do you want to pick Tiger Woods?
Hey,
to go
hey,
with Phil?
When's the last time Rory won a major? Might I ask? So I can tell you the last time Phil won a major. 2019.
Who was your first pick?
John Rahm.
John Rahm, 2023 Masters champion.
There's a okay. I got one more coming around. There's a lot of
Yeah, what's
there's a
your
lot of
next
people I
pick?
could go with. I'm not gonna go with Xander because I don't think he's
I
Nothing.
don't think Xander's that good at golf.
nah. He's up there just because he won. I'm gonna go. Give me Morikawa.
Damn it! I was just gonna say him. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Morikawa. What a pick, Benjamin King.
I
All
don't
right.
know how I got him as my third pick.
All right,
Pretty
I'm-
crazy he fell down the draft boards, but
Yeah.
Anthony.
I'm gonna bring some excitement to our team, so I'm gonna go with Ricky Fowler.
Are you guys trying to win?
I am.
My
He's gonna
team-
bring the morale up. Ricky's gonna
my
bring the
team-
morale
What is
up.
what is wrong? What is wrong with John Rahm and Phil Mickelson?
Owen, when was the last time, apart from a major, that the two of them played in the 72-hole tournament?
You need to stop. You are so anti-live. It literally kills me.
But I know everyone
know
wants
that?
to wear their shorts and listen to music when they tee off, but we can't
Hey,
all have
guys,
that.
As the moderator, Anthony, or sorry, not Anthony, Mr. Anderson, your next pick, please. Your final pick, in fact.
No, he's 2.
Final 2 picks.
I got
Final
2
2
more.
picks. Final 2 picks.
I'm going back to back again.
Yeah, back to
Yeah.
back. Snake draft.
Forgot.
Sir. That's how this works.
For some reason, I forgot how a snake draft works.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go. You guys took all my golfers. I'm not gonna lie.
Got to make a pick here, sir. Got to make a pick.
Give me Tommy Fleetwood.
Who that?
Owen.
What are you
I love
doing,
that.
Owen?
Owen.
What are you doing?
Owen. Can I be honest? 2 of the top 5 golfers in the
Are
world
still
ranking
on the board.
Three of the top 5 are still on the board, and you've taken Tommy Fleetwood.
Who the hell is Tommy Fleetwood?
Nah,
You don't
he's
need
a
to
good
know.
guy. He's a good guy. I mean, he's ranked 13th right now.
All right, Owen, what's your last pick?
Sorry, sorry, hold on. You picked Jason Day to win the
That is
US
wild.
Open. I want to hear
That's a
anything
little
about
wild.
my
No.
US Olympic team.
That's a little wild.
I said
So
my
leave
sleeper
Tommy
pick. If
Fleetwood
someone
alone.
was going to come from behind, I wouldn't be shocked if he did. He's got it in him. He's not going to. That's why I picked
It's either
Owen.
here or there. It's either here or there. Xander Schauffele.
Neither
You
here or
guys don't
there,
like him.
Ben.
I like him. I like the guy. Move on.
Move
Wait,
on.
did you hear the thing that they were going to do with Shoffley with the banner? Originally, they talked about it in the Bob the Sports podcast the other day, but originally they were going to put Bob's over Xander's. So in that video, when the banner
Oh, that
drops
would've been
next
so
to
funny.
it, they were going to put Bob's is going to fall down and cover up Xander.
That would have been hilarious. All right.
That is one of Xander's
Anthony.
biggest fears.
So it's on to you, my sir.
I'm very distraught between 2 people. I wished Owen would have picked him so I didn't have to pick the other one, but I'm very I don't know who to pick out of Victor Hovland and Wyndham Clark.
I would rather have Xander Schauffele over both of those.
Well, Xander
Yeah,
Schauffele, he's just hyped right now because he just won.
No, Callaway athlete.
All right, I'm gonna go with Victor
Matt Perez
Hovland.
is a Callaway athlete.
I'm going with Victor
It's the
Hovland.
brand.
Victor
Oh,
Hovland.
excuse me. Sorry,
Yes.
I cannot hear Anthony Olivera. Can I hear
It's
it again?
Olivera. It's Olivera.
Olivera.
First thought.
Okay,
Mr.
Anthony,
Olivera, can you repeat yourself, please?
Victor Hovland.
Guys, you hear that? Victor Hovland. I don't know who it is, but he picked him. Ben, you got the final pick of the draft.
Wow, that was okay, so I got
I'm
there's
gonna
a few
take,
guys.
I'm gonna take Sky Sheffield.
Owen,
You already-
before I pick, Owen, if you had the number 1 overall pick and you were taking this seriously, who would you actually have picked?
Phil
Scotty
Mickelson.
Scheffler. You and me.
You would have picked
My
Scotty
team
Scheffler.
was set up for failure.
You had the
I
best
guaranteed I could have picked a
Dude, I have
better
gone-
team than you.
pick.
All
Owen,
right,
you had the best.
Move
The
on,
third is the
move on,
best
Anthony,
pick.
my pick.
All right, I got a few guys on the
Pick
mind.
John
I got.
Rahm.
Ben, even before you could pick, we could just agree that Owen has the worst team.
He has the worst. So
Yes.
okay, my options right now in my
Correct.
head are Max Homa,
I almost
Okay.
picked him.
Sahith Theegala.
Okay.
I'd put Ludwig in there too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Ian
I'm gonna go.
Poulter.
I'm gonna go Sahith
I
because I,
like
think
it.
when you come to the Olympics time, he's like moving in that direction where he's going to win something big in the next few months, and the Olympics are in a month, so or it's coming
like
up. So I would say in the next few weeks. So I'll go Sahith.
So let me get this straight. Last Ryder Cup, Tommy Fleetwood, I believe, showed up and showed out. But now you are picking Sahith Theegala. Where is my team that bad?
Owen.
Where's my team?
Owen.
You picked Phil Mickelson.
You can't.
When
All-time American golfer.
Owen,
When it's not all time, it's current.
when we're all
Oh.
picking, when me and Anthony are picking our picks and like being like, oh, should we take this guy? Should we take this guy? Not once did any of the guys on your list cross our minds.
It's sad that John Rahm didn't cross.
He's
my mind.
not good. He's not good anymore.
Anthony, is he
Owen.
not? Is Ben not a live hater?
He is a live hater. Ben is definitely a live hater.
He's
John
a
Rahm
live
is
hater.
not
He's a live-
that.
he's a
John
live
Rahm is not terrible.
No,
He's a good
okay.
golfer.
He's okay. He's not terrible. What I will say is that he has no motivation to golf anymore. You can see it.
I mean,
If John Rahm got arrested like Scotty Scheffler did,
he would have just stayed in the
he's
championship.
done. He's not playing in the tournament.
Well, let me put it this way. So it came out that the PGA wants to do some tournaments where they mix in some live guys, the bigger
They are
tournaments.
doing it. Yep.
They've
They're
been
gonna
talking
do
about it for years, though.
So calm yourself, man. Let me finish talking, okay? Can I finish talking? Maybe some of these guys are just trying to like pass by until those tournaments pop up again, where they can start being. I realize you're going to be like, oh, live is not that competitive, and mind you, it's not as competitive. I can't even talk. I guess it's not as competitive as the PGA, but I mean, come on.
Owen, number 95 rated Joaquin Neiman still on the board. Do you want him?
I have a quick question. Why is John Rahm not playing in the U.S. Open?
He has a sore on his foot
Aw, he's got a little lump.
that literally debilitates him from walking.
Tiger Woods is still walking. He almost had his leg amputated. Jason Day's still walking.
Bro, that was
Stop with the
5 years
Jason
ago.
Day. Stop with Jason Day.
What do you mean?
You picked Jason. You picked Jason Day. Jason Day. That guy has not been relevant for like 20 years.
Let me just wait. Please hold.
Mind you, 2023 Masters. Phil Mickelson came out and tied for like second place. So keep your mouth shut.
Let's just because Tino's not here right now. Let's just take a look. Where is Jason Day on the world golf rankings? Because I guarantee he's higher.
No, you can't use the world golf rankings anymore. You can't use that
biased.
because
biased.
live golfers are all
PGA.
down low. You can't do that anymore.
Okay, no. Because if you're telling me
Do not be,
I can't use it,
he hates Rory, but he's acting like Rory. You're acting like Rory McIlroy.
You can't use the world golf rankings anymore.
Okay, no. Okay, Jason Day is ranked on ESPN's golf rankings. Jason Day is ranked 21 in the world.
Okay, he'll be in the 40s.
No.
You can't use the world golf rankings anymore.
So what?
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson is ranked 180th.
It doesn't matter. You can't use those anymore.
Why? Because
live golfers are treated poorly in it.
If Phil Mickelson and Jason Day had a match, I would bet $100 that Phil Mickelson would win.
All right, let's just ask them.
All right, we're asked the people at home.
No, I want to ask Phil and Jason.
Anthony, am I not wrong?
He's wrong.
I'm not wrong, dude. Oh, who'd you take?
I don't know.
Can I ask a stipulation?
You're gonna say Tiger.
They
You're
get
gonna say
to-
Tiger.
No. If they get to golf, let them both ride in carts.
No. I'm gonna say
So
Phil. I think Phil would be Jason Day.
It's Phil. It's Phil. You don't like. There's this misconception on Ben's part where live golfers don't actually golf. They just dick around for like 3 days out of the week. Like, do you know how much golf Phil Mickelson plays? The guy is on the course all week.
Well, I bet Jason Day is too, but
I would say they're all, of course. There's a difference though between playing 4 days and 3 days because there's 1 day extra of competition.
Well, actually, though, Jason Day only plays Jason Day actually only plays like 2 days because he always gets cut.
Hey man, when he's out there, he's firing.
All right, let's get into
Tiger Woods.
Owen, do you have a rant this week?
I want to see Owen play Tiger Woods in a match.
Shut your mouth.
Of
course I win. What are we doing? What are we doing? So let's just segue what I just said. It's a perfect segue into our next segment, which is my rant of the week. Now, my rant of the week this week is I won't be as fiery about it because some people might misconstrue it or misinterpret how I'm putting this, but I brought up earlier in the podcast that Pinehurst is hosting the U.S. Open this year, and notoriously the U.S. Open is a hard tournament. It is a very hard. They pick the hardest courses, whether it's the rough is thick, the greens are quick. It's a long course. It's tough. It's just tough. And Pinehurst is known for its tough greens. It's their turtle shell greens, which means if you are not landing it on the center of the green, it is going to roll back. If you are not good with your wedges, you're not good with your short game, the ball is just going to roll right off. That's how it is. That's how the course is designed. That's why it's a tough course. The players know this. The USGA knows this. The PGA knows this. LIV knows this. Pinehurst, the resort, knows this. It's notorious. It is known for its tough greens. It's known for its non-forgiving fairways. If you do not hit it in the fairway and you hit it out, you're going to be hitting out of the sand, or you're going to be hitting out of tall weeds. That's how it is. That is the course. Just like, when was it? 20. Correct me right now, guys. When was the U.S. Open in Boston?
2 years,
Yeah,
2022.
yeah.
2022, or whatever. The rough there, insane. So it's the U.S. Open. So getting back to my rant, when I see that Pinehurst is posting these things on their Instagram, and they like to do this thing where they take a ball. This is my AirPod case. They take a ball, they'll go like this, and they'll like show how much roll off the greens have. And then I go to these posts, and then I see these people, and mind you, I'm not the best at golf. I'm not coming out here and saying I'm better than you at golf. I'm coming out here and saying that merely we as non-professionals have zero right to critique a course that is hosting one of the biggest events in golf this year. It's every year. It's the U.S. Open. It's for me, I like it more than the Masters. It's not bigger than the Masters. The Masters has tradition, but for me, it's I like it better than the Masters. I think it's the because the Masters is the same course every year. Obviously, the changing in course makes it interesting. It makes it fun to watch. But getting back to Pinehurst, when I see these people that are not bad golfers, not good golfers, critiquing the greens or critiquing the course in general, we have no right. I have no right to critique it. I'm not critiquing it though. I love the course. The course is insane. I walked it. You walk it and you look at it and you watch how the players are playing the course. It's a perfect U.S. Open course. There's nothing wrong with the course. It's a player's paradise course. You have to be accurate with your drives. You have to be really good with your wedges, and you have to play the grain of the green because the grain plays a major factor at Pinehurst. It's if you don't understand how the grain works there and you don't have an understanding of how the greens function, it's your worst nightmare. But that's why it's fun. The players love it for that reason. It's a tradition. There's a reason why it was this big thing bringing the U.S. Open back to Pinehurst because it hadn't been there for 10 years. It was this big thing because the players love Pinehurst. It's a tradition thing. They love Pinehurst. But that's my rant. People, if we're not players, we have no right to talk about these conditions. We're not the players. We as fans, we can be like, that's tough. But critiquing a course, like, come on, it's not. And at the end of the day, it's not the course. Also, there's the USGA also has a main contributing like drive in how the course is played. If they wanted the greens to be a little slower, then they would alter their watering, say, for, like, if that's what we're talking about. But that's my rant. It's a golf major. It's supposed to be hard. Let's stop pretending like they're not the best in the world. They're the best in the world. They can handle a course like this. Whether they score low or not is up to them. It's up to their game. But that's just the course. It's a golf major. It's one of the biggest events in golf. So that's my rant of the week. Not as fiery as my other ones, but I think this one hits harder for me at least. yeah, that's my rant of the week.
Well, we've been the Mediocre Men. I got it. I wrote it down. We've been your men of mediocrity. Tune in every week for a new installment of the Mediocre Men podcast. But more importantly, go follow us on social media. They'll be at the end of this video in just a few short seconds where you can catch up-to-date sports news, some hot opinions. We make some TikToks every once in a while. It is a great time. You're not going to want to miss it. The Mediocre_men. I believe that's all the handles. We'll see you next week. Once again, we've been your men of mediocrity. Have a fantastic evening. Drive home from work if you're listening. Drive to school. And happy summer, everyone.